Good morning. It's Thursday, May 22nd. I'm Zach Howard. Here's your morning note. Three things I'm looking at. Canada bond yields, number one, two, US bond yields, and number three, leading the pack with all the excitement and well-deserved price action. Mr. Bitcoin rocking its thing to a new all-time high. But what do we got here? First up, magic number, round numbers, 3%, 300 basis points on that Canada 5-year government bond yield. What does it matter? Mortgage rates in Canada are really based off that pricing of 5-year Canada money, round number 3%. But look at the move here over the last 3 months. Each time it's come to this higher low, higher high, it's failed and gotten lower, but it looks like to be breaking out, potentially signaling stagflation. Inflation is actually coming back as growth is falling in the Canadian economy. The Canadian economy depends on real estate next to oil and gas to actually produce GDP for the country. Despite everybody working for the government, we need to build real estate. We need to build construction projects to fund our economy. And with this rising rate, there is a challenge to fund these projects. Between 2025 and 2026, 2.2 million mortgages in Canada come up for renewal. Most Canadian mortgages are either on a floating or a fixed, but they all have 5-year renewals where they had to readjust the rate and hopefully get the mortgage extended by the provider. What's happening is people that locked in mortgages at 1.8, 2%, beautiful, risk-free money 5 years ago when the Bank of Canada said, don't worry about rates coming up, are now getting renewal notices at 4.5%, 5% plus. And that house in those big markets, the value of it has come down. So the servicing of that mortgage has become very challenging. 2.2 million mortgages, but 1.2 million in 2025 alone have fixed rate mortgages up for renewal. Over 300 billion in mortgage debt in that taxpayer subsidized Canadian Mortgage Housing Corporation. This is a real issue. It's going to make for the Bank of Canada meeting here in June very interesting. The bond market is saying, hey, rates are going higher. Bank of Canada is going to try to talk it down, but the bond market is the final say. That's really what matters, which leads us to the Canadian market over to that US 30-year yield. It continues to chug higher. Boom. Look at the long-term chart of it. 5.1%. We got the 10-year at 4.6. Steepening yield curve in the US, showing economic growth potentially continues with the fiscal stimulus. But that's the challenge. Who funds all this government spending? The private sector and the price of money. Who's going to continue to fund it without yield curve control? We don't know. Don't know, but we know what happened in Japan. Mr. Bitcoin. New all-time high. It's 111,000. Gotta love that number. Now it's starting to get the attention it deserves. The number one company in the Bitcoin space, Michael Saylor's strategy, continues to get the flows and continues to get the love. The easiest way to play it from a stock standpoint. MicroStrategy. The question is, does it get included in the S&P 500 in the next quarter? What are the requirements for inclusion? You need to have profitability in most recent quarter, which is going to have a massive profit this quarter here, Q2, potentially $55 per share with this massive gain on sale on all our Bitcoin holdings. So that ticks the box. Market cap has to be over 8.2 billion. Well, market cap of MicroStrategy is over 110 billion and rising. That ticks the box. Liquidity has lots of daily trading. That ticks the box. Public flow greater than 50%. That also ticks the box. Michael Saylor owns 9.9% approximately of the Class A shares. So that ticks the box. It has to be U.S. domiciled company. Also ticks the box. So I think the real opportunity is when this gets included in the S&P 500, every man a pop, every firefighter, teacher, pension fund, they're going to automatically be buyers of MicroStrategy stock. The passive flows are going to go in there to replicate its inclusion in the index. You don't need to know about Bitcoin. You're going to be buyers if you own a pension that's a passive flow each month through your employment. You're buying MicroStrategy. When that happens, and that's going to further chug this price along. BlackRock, the IBET, the most successful ETF out there in the Bitcoin ETFs. It's now number top 5 in inflows, 9 billion. catching up to some of these bigger ones. So it's exciting times out there in Bitcoin land. The Bitcoin derivative companies continue to chug along, and I think it's the best trade out there still in this bullish trend. Lots of momentum. Have a great day. See you tomorrow.